What you're about to see here now is me, Chris Eubank, fighting Nigel Benn. This fight took place in 1990, the 18th of November. I had trained 7 years to get to this position to fight him for this WBO World Middleweight Championship. And everything was on the line. And there is nothing he could have done to beat me this particular night. I was so focused. I hope you enjoy it. That focus was more of an obsession. I was obsessed, and that is what gave me distinction and allowed me to victor in this particular fight. Now, this is my second approach to the ring. My opponent's team, they cut my music. Barry Hearn got upset, went back to the changing rooms, took us back to the changing rooms. He said, "What do you want to do, Chris?" I said, "It will have no bearing on the fight, them cutting my music. I need to fight this man. I only can prove what I can do in the ring." He shrugged his shoulders and said, "Well, of course." So we walked back out, and here I am now, ready to do the act, the real act. I mean, 96% of the audience were against me. Now, the music, Nigel Benn's men start leading him out. Now, all of this is, I'm prepared for it. It's called intimidation. The atmosphere is intimidating. You know, the men and women who are there who are against me are intimidating. But all of that is something that I was using for fuel. I always did. Because it wasn't fair. There was no justice to it. I didn't understand why people didn't like me. I was pure. I was doing what I was supposed to do.
My adrenaline's buzzing for this, absolutely unbelievable.
And I also couldn't understand why everyone was so pro-Nigel.
Yeah, everybody's standing up now. Everybody wants to get a glimpse of the fighters entering the ring. And, I mean, the atmosphere is just...
I mean, at this point, I can see particular people like Ian Wright. Here is a fellow in the yellow, Paul Gascoigne. I can see them looking in the ring. They're not looking at Ben's entrance because I'm doing something in the ring which is a little bit unusual. I am stock still. I don't move.
Chris Eubank, we can see totally dispassionate.
And this is all kind of preparation for what is about to happen. But unusual in as much as I wasn't flailing, getting up, running around, throwing punches. Just, I stood stock still.
The bass notes are so strong, they're shaking the NEC, I kid you not. There comes the belt, the WBO Championship belt, Ambrose Mendy.
I mean, this entrance is just incredible. And what is also incredible is the fact that the director of this production did not actually show me in the ring standing so concentrated and so focused, because Nigel Benn was such a huge star at this time. Huge.
Meanwhile, back in the ring, Eubank has not moved a muscle since getting in.
He does this, you know, as part of self-control. He said very few fighters can get in the ring and stand absolutely static. It's all part of his temperament and control. And he looks magnificent.
He'll need it, Jim. He'll need it tonight, I'll tell you. He'll need it tonight, I'm telling you.
Yeah, definitely.
It's going to be the big night for him, I'll tell you. It's all or nothing.
Ben's going to come out like a wild tiger.
So 7 years of preparation is why I stood stock still. That if anything, I was going to unzip this man. I was going to actually let him know by my persona, by my attitude, by the way I moved, by how still I was, that, you know, I am not intimidated by you. You're going to have to beat me by way of device. You know, you're not going to do it on intimidation, which is how he beat many of his opponents. As did I. I beat many of my opponents by attitude and one-upmanship in terms of mindset.
Well, Richard Steele is definitely, he's definitely the best.
But I was letting him know that you're going to be fighting a man. I'm not fighting your persona and your reputation. You're going to be fighting me, and I'm going to be fighting you. And I'm trained, and I know I'm trained. And I'm prepared to go through, not almost everything, everything. I'm willing to give my life. And that's how intense it was for me. This was about honor. 7 years of, as I say, no friends, solitude, no life. Just in the gym, blood, sweat and tears. And so my life was on the line. He would have to take it in order to beat me. And that's how intense it was in my head. the world outside of my head didn't exist. The only thing that existed was actually not allowing this man to hit me with a shot that would actually leave me paralyzed for 10 seconds. It's this type of focus that wins anyone what they focus on.
Your referee for the contest is Richard Steele of Las Vegas and your timekeeper Harry Foxall of Stoke-on-Trent. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting and introducing to you in the blue corner with the white and the red shorts, with 24 wins from 24 contests, 14 inside the distance, the challenger for the title.
The tapping of the gloves.
In Sussex, Chris Eubank.
Calm. Unusually calm. To bow to my opponent and the audience.
Would you believe there's a butterfly fluttering around in the ring? That's weird.
And that butterfly that the commentator speaks of there actually flew over to me. There's a butterfly in November. Pretty odd, but there is something in that, maybe an omen.
The Dark Destroyer, the world champion.
This is where the hype stops and the fight
At this
starts.
point, he's knocked out every one of his opponents within 2 rounds. At one point, you can see my leg here, my right leg shaking, and I have to keep on moving in order to not show that I'm shaking, because I am petrified. But that's what courage is actually moving and going forward in the face of adversity. Moving even when you are fearful.
Won't stand any of the
Ambrose Mendy to the right hand side looking at me. At that point he probably could see that there's no way he's going to beat me, and at that point when he hits my glove, it was so heavy, it was frightening, but again, intimidation. Nothing was going to intimidate me.
Scheduled for 12 rounds, this is the main event.
Now I'm looking to actually come out backwards and hit him with a right hand, which is actually covered by me coming out with my right hand shielded by my body.
Has Ben learned from his experience against Watson? Will he go in and use it?
All I needed was like 1 or 2 or 3 tricks just to get me going. Once you get going, one can go into automatic pilot. You actually do then what you've been practicing. But this was my focus.
Well, as you said, Barry, the hype is over. It's time for the fighting. The champ and the challenger. Round 1, here we go.
Now the idea is, get your shots off. Do not wait. Do not wait to see what he has. Do not feel him out. Make sure you can land your shots and do not pay him any respect.
He's got to keep his hands up.
Although one had to because of his ability to punch, it was exceptional, and so therefore the idea was to get the respect
Got to get those hands
immediately.
up. Benner's going gunning for him. No messing about here, no fancy boxing. It's just slam bang.
Well, we've yet to really ever discover whether Eubank can take a shot tonight. We will find out if he can.
We certainly will.
One of the aspects of my ability, which always stood me in good stead, was my ability to move backwards and always be able to move in such a way where
Good right hand from Eubanks. Good
I
right
couldn't be
hand.
hit
Very good.
because I was moving back, also watching the punches as they were coming, actually landing my own shots before he got his off.
Definitely hurt Ben with that right hand. But you've got to keep his hands up. That's when Ben's at his most dangerous.
Now, you know, you can see him moving forward all the time. Now that is pace setting, so there's no room to relax. So it's to hit and move continuously without actually getting involved in a toe-to-toe slugging match, because that's where he would have the upper hand. So the idea is to hit and don't get hit. Although obviously I got hit.
Eubanks is growing in confidence. He's got to keep those hands up, because if Ben clips him, he'll know all about it.
Well, Ben's 2 world title victories against Aaron Barkley. Doug DeWitt against fighters arguably past their best. Eubank isn't, that's for sure. And any flaws that Eubank can find in Ben, you can bet your life will be ruthlessly exposed.
In that he's coming forward and in that he's pressing, that is setting a very high pace. He's always looking to engage. So at this particular point in time, he has to respect me because I've hit him with very hard shots. I'm always kind of at arm's length, so I'm always actually catching him with my jab.
I'm surprised at Ben. He's just coming loading up with every shot. He's not trying to box, not trying to jab. He's just coming in there, walking straight in, slam bang. Every punch is a knockout punch. He hasn't.
So his attitude is to actually force me out of the fight by breaking my spirit early. But I'm ready for him, which is why I'm on my back foot. I'm moving backwards. He's running into the shots.
Just keep your eyes on this one. This is going to be.
Oh, right now, right there, my goodness. He's just actually picked me up, and at that point, I thought to myself, why would you do that? When I was about 16 years old, I was told, whenever someone has you in a position where you're underneath them, never force your way up, because you do that and you discharge all of your energy. So when he lifted me up there, I thought to myself, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. He hasn't been taught.
End of the first round, definitely the challenger's round.
Now, as you can see there, I actually move away and turn my back to him because he was always looking to actually confrontate with me before the fight. And I always did that, which was to actually give him my back, which you can see in interviews beforehand. So at this point, I'm walking around the ring, acting as though I've won the round and that I'm going to beat this guy. But that's all theatre. That's what they refer to as NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Programming. I'm trying to program the minds of the judges and him, if he can see me actually walking around, being all cool, acting as though I own this position. It's all about getting it into the minds of the public, the judges, and himself that I am superior to him. And it is all a game. It is all a performance. It is all theatre, as well as the realness of the punches. Now here we have the second round. Now here you can see I'm going to actually see whether he does it again, which is I hold him down and I want him to try and pick me up so he can discharge all that energy, which you're not supposed to discharge. You're supposed to actually keep it and unleash it when appropriate and at the time given.
A lot of Eubank's fights, it's got a tendency to get caught, and against a puncher like Ben, that could be so dangerous.
Like this.
Like that!
Yes. And the point of fact is this, I can take a shot, but I'm not a fool. I'm not a person who thinks I can take a shot and so I will and I'll prove that I can and I'll show that bravado. No, the idea is I can take them, but I don't want to because they do take their toll. So here you see me leveraging uppercuts.
Ben looks to me as if he wants to walk right through anything Eubank's can offer.
And he does want to walk through, but that is not going to happen. Because I learned the craft, I learned the art. This is all about, boxing is all about brinkmanship, bravado. It's all about intelligence. It is chess. It literally is chess, but with gloves on.
Well, you can believe that or not, as the case may be, but it just shows how important this fight is in the mind of the champion.
Good shot from
and all these shots are heavy shots. I don't punch light. I punch to actually cause a reaction, have an effect. Respect to me. If you're in front of me, you are going to get hurt if you don't bob and weave. And my objective is to keep you back and tame you. So here we are in the second round, and the pace is electric. This is too high a pace.
I'll be surprised if it does, I must admit.
So right here, he catches me with an overhand right. This is his best shot.
We've got any butterflies there, wasted no time getting them out of their system.
That was the shot that was supposed to actually knock me out. But in proving that I could take that shot, he must have known, well, he's in trouble here.
For a split second, he was in a little bit
I wasn't in a little bit of trouble, I was in a lot of trouble, and no trouble at all because I was prepared for it and firing back.
And Ben's showing the power to walk through at the moment.
And he's taking a leaf out of Michael Watson's book, the champ.
Now at this point, I have got to come back with something, and here it comes, the left hook.
This is a war.
He walks straight into it. Bang, he buckles.
Good left hook. Ben's out, Ben's out.
Yes, he's hurt, and now I go after him.
Storming him.
Ben is in trouble.
And this is where now 14 million people in the United Kingdom are thinking to themselves, Eubank is actually for real.
He's at his most dangerous now.
His legs are gone,
Eubanks
Ben.
has got him. There's big trouble here. This is it. Now what? Be careful.
This is what I was saying all along. Eubanks is accurate to get some man
Now
in trouble.
looking him down, telling him, you know, I am here and I am real. So the start of the third.
We watched him against DeWitt and we watched him against Barkley, and he only
You can
seems
see
to
at one
start
point
going
here
when he
I
gets
wait a
tired.
little bit too long.
Eubanks hurt him in that last round.
And these shots he's firing are
My worry
full
with Eubanks is that he
blooded
doesn't take a good body shot,
shots.
and,
Close quarter,
I'm
trying to hit me up the body.
if Ben
But as you
starts
can
going
see,
for
I've
the
learnt
body,
the
he's gotta be
craft.
careful for these first
I have
few
my
rounds.
arms covering, my elbows covering my body.
He's at his most dangerous when he's hurt. Don't you forget that.
Now here is where I wait a little bit too long and he catches me with an overhand right and I stumble.
Definite minority trying to get behind him, but Sips a good right hand, caught and in trouble, but fights back.
And I fight back because that's all you can do.
This is some fight.
Eubanks was hurt, certainly hurt there. Ben is no question about it. Ben is an explosive hitter at short distance. No jabs, look, there's no jabs here at all. It's just a complete war. Slam bang.
If we wondered whether Eubank could take a shot, we're finding out tonight. He's talking to Ben now, taunting him. Come and hit me. Well, he's answered the argument so far about his chin.
Good body shot by Eubanks, and the switch to the left, hook to the head. Again, the switching from one to the other, and they're both hurt continuously.
And a war means you're not throwing jabs, you're actually just trading heavy punches.
Incredible fight.
Not to say that I wanted to do that, but you're forced into a fight sometimes. But still I wanted to box, and all the time I'm going back, it means I am semi-boxing.
Eubank, a little swollen.
When you're not boxing is when you're actually standing toe-to-toe and trading.
Eubanks looks the more tired of the two.
Now I'll catch him here with a couple of uppercuts.
Every time
again.
But Ben is low, so he starts bringing over the right hooks.
watch Ben when he gets hurt.
Heavy shots.
Here we go. Look at this.
But now we are engaged, now we are in a war.
This man is lethal when he's hurt. He's like a wounded tiger.
But at the same time, I'm trying to keep that distance. I'm trying to tame him. I'm trying to keep him on the end of the jab.
Like that.
So hit and cover up, because once you hit, then he's coming back with his volley.
Another right hand from Eubanks. Left 2-2. Good shot.
Something's got to give.
These are bombs, I'll tell you.
Yes, they were bombs. And all the time he's coming forwards, I was taught very early in my career, when you're going backwards and someone's coming forwards on top of you, when he comes into your punches, the punches are twice as hard. So because he's actually forcing the pace, right now he actually catches me with an uppercut.
Oh, a right uppercut. Look at right hand from Eubanks.
But the idea is to always fire back, because every time your opponent strikes you, he's 1 point up. So the idea is you have to come back and get your points back. Now, end of the third round, I am completely exhausted. And I'm thinking to myself, if he keeps up this pace, I'm going to have to stop, because I can't keep it up. And the fourth round now, about to start, I go into automatic pilot, meaning that I'm no longer thinking about anything but survival. Instinctive survival, because the pace is too high, and the pressure he has been putting me under is too much.
They both look tired as Barry was saying, and who wants it most, as we were saying earlier?
Well, Ben's conditioning against Eubank's conditioning, the ability to take a punch. Round 4 coming up. And both men have absorbed a bit of stick so far. But Eubank did look tired at the end of that round.
I'll tell you what, both fighters have put enough work in the opening for 3 rounds to last for a 12-round contest. Tremendous. Lot of hatred
At a particular
being
point in this round, I hit him with a right hand. It's about a minute into the round, and it tames him. And that right hand is coming up just about now, where I look for position, and he walks onto this big right hand. And it's at that point where his eye begins to close. So the punch is coming up right now.
On the both of their
So I
faces,
walk him
their
in,
eyes.
he throws a shot, and I hit him with the
Something
1-2. That right hand
Jesus, look at that right
that right hand is the right hand that closed his eye. Maybe
Ben
2
showing us
rounds
that in the States.
from now, it closes his eye.
Smiles
But at this point now, I'm taking full advantage of the fact that I did score that shot. It did buckle him,
Eubank's expending a lot of energy there as
and
well.
I was able to actually stamp my authority on the fight at this point.
As he was letting him go, but he's put a lot into it.
Even if it couldn't be seen by the judges and the audience, I had stamped it on him, and the idea is to beat him.
He's still in the fight.
Benn's left eye closing, swollen. Cheek looking very puffy. Chris Eubank cut about the mouth.
So when I say I'm on automatic pilot, I don't know right now that the pace has slowed down just a little bit, even though he's coming forward. But now I've won his respect, so you can see that the pace has slowed slightly. And slightly enough that I can stay in the fight, because this was touch and go right the way through.
Clusters. About 15-30 seconds worth of activity.
Now right here he catches me with an uppercut, which splits my tongue. It splits a half-inch gash in my tongue, underneath my tongue. Hits me with a body shot here. But the idea is you can never telegraph that you're hurt. Now at this point I'm swallowing copious amounts of blood. And I know I can't tell my corner when I get back to the corner because blood curdles and you can choke.
This is a war.
But right now I'm swallowing blood, and the pain in my mouth is excruciating.
Eubank forced to hold for dear life.
He took a big right hand there, Dave. Bang on. But Ben's eyes come up alarmingly.
Yeah, the left eye.
But the idea is try to not telegraph that you are in disarray, that you are in pain, or that you are on the verge of actually stopping. You can't telegraph it, because one of the most powerful lessons I've learned in boxing, and I learned it at about 18 years old, is this. When you feel exhausted, beaten, and you want to quit, remember, your opponent feels exactly the same way.
Looking for the opening.
Both guys have shown they can take each other's best shots.
We're going to take a break.
See, at this point here, you can see me turning, going for a walk. But in going for that walk, he thinks he's going to the wrong corner, and he actually starts walking back to my corner, which means he is concussed and he is confused. Now, within that round, I didn't tell Ronnie that I had this half-inch gash underneath my tongue from the uppercut that he hit me with, purely because he would have to tell the referee. If he told the referee would stop the fight. Blood does curdle, and I was swallowing copious amounts of it. I'm back onto my boxing, trying to keep the distance, trying not to trade with him, because trading makes it a 50-50 fight. When I box, I probably make it maybe 65-35 in my favor, because I'm the better boxer, where he is the better fighter. Why make it 50-50? Always keep him on the end of your jab. Always keep him at distance.
Just pull him apart and let him get on with it again. What a fight. It's been fantastic.
Well, we thought if there was a little chink in Eubank's arm, it would be the body shots. And Nigel Benn's been exploiting that, and he has hurt Eubank. There's no doubt about that. He's made the challenger suffer.
About that. And I'm sure he's going to be told by Vic Andretti in the corner to go for his body. But the problem is, while he's coming forward, he's leaving himself open.
But that right eye looks a bit of an alarmist there. It's not cut, it's just grotesquely swollen. Absolutely. Just a little slit, and of course with Eubank bombing over the big right hands, that puts the champ at an enormous disadvantage.
See what Eubank's
now look at this jab here. Make him miss, make him pay.
Throw punches, but he's not actually throwing them when he's taking a rest.
And that jab, don't think a jab is a light shot, because the jab is like a ramrod. It has your entire weight behind it when you catch somebody like that. And all of this is chipping away at the man's spirit. Chip away until you break him.
Eubanks is coming forward now himself. He's taking the initiative.
Well, Eubank has taken some of Benn's best shots, and the ones around the head, he's proved he can take them. The body shots to him are the danger.
You know, obviously, at this point, I've been in the business for 7 years. I've had 24 professional fights, 24 wins. I had never come across anyone who punches with the intensity, with the power, with the sting, with the dynamite that Ben had. But as I say, this was not about anything other than honouring the 7 years I'd given up, so this I had to deal with. But always being sensible, always being objective. Never trade. I'm always trying to keep away from him. Box. Do not stand and trade. Box. But if you stand and trade, then, you know, I can do it with the best of them, which I did.
It's been a good educational run for him. He's been thinking it through, taking his time, taking a rest. And Ben has allowed him to get away with it.
See, I'm taming the pace by making him think. And if I can make him think, then I can tag him, like I'm tagging him now. He starts walking onto big shots. These are big shots. That right hand was a big shot. He's walking onto the jabs. Every time he throws a shot, I pick him off. And keep in mind that the media at this point of my career, they call me the pretender. They don't think I'm real. I must, just in case I forget to say that, after I won this particular fight, they began calling me the great pretender. They still didn't want to give me the credit because I was, I suppose, unusual in regards to what they expected of boxers.
By walking around and posing, he should be taking a rest, taking his time, filling his lungs up with air and getting washed down with cold water to try and revive himself for the next round.
Well, you can see the Ben corner working on that damaged left eye. They've got the iron out, cold iron. Ambrose Mendy looking a little bit anxious.
Well, Eubank answered the question I posed at the beginning. He certainly hasn't froze. If anything, he's rose to the occasion. And right now, this title's really up for grabs.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree with you more. It's in the balance here.
So here, yes, keeping him on the end of the jab, which is the most powerful shot. It's the most powerful tool in boxing, is the jab. Keeping the man at distance while hurting him with the jab is a hurtful shot, is the jab. You can drop people with jabs. You can bruise them, close their eyes with jabs, and so therefore the jab is said to be the most masterful stroke in boxing. And again, watch me look and play, pull him on, hit him with the jab. And that's the full-blooded weight behind that jab. So again, I've brought him into my field, which is boxing, and taken him out of his field, which is to trade punches by fighting.
Getting into a bit of outsmarting each other match, and that's suit Eubanks. You know, Nigel's name is to rumble forward. He said himself publicly he's a fighter, he's a slugger. That's what he needs to do to retain his title. He's not going to outbox Chris Eubank.
That's right.
Well, of course, the pace has noticeably dropped, but there's no way they could have kept the first 4 rounds up. That was Grand Prix stuff.
I'm just wondering how concerned Ben is about that eye, but he's talking back to Eubank now.
Referee Steele says, come on guys, let's have some action.
As Eubank never turned up at the press conference yesterday, maybe Nigel's telling him what he wanted to tell him.
And the reason I didn't turn up to the press conference because it wouldn't have done me any good. It would only have done him or given him a possible advantage, which was to intimidate me. But I had had enough of that. The fight was here. I didn't go to the press conference. It wasn't about that. It was about actually keeping. Here he hits me low. Now this shot here, he hits me low. I actually caught him with the good right hand. And right here, what I'm doing, I'm calculating where I am. Can I really do this? And it takes me probably 10 seconds to work out, yes, I can. He's not going to take away a point from him. I realize that. He gets me back into the fight at this particular point, does Richard Steele. He says, come on. And it's almost like, when I think about it, over the years, I've thought to myself, he was helping me here. You can do this. Because you just don't know. You know, it's still in, and he hits me here with an uppercut to the body, and you can see me wince, and it hurt, and you can see me actually trying to stay close to him because of the pain of that shot. That would have stopped most men. And here you see I'm back on my jab, keeping him at distance. He's walking onto the jabs, and I now catch him with a right hand because he's walking in. When you're walking in and you're not moving side to side, what happens is that you are an open target. So even though he's hurt me, he's walking onto shots and I'm still in the fight. Why? Because my spirit is engaged. You know, I have to win this. I need to win this. My entire life, or the 7 years I've given up, depends on this. I need the respect from my brothers. Most importantly, I'm not giving up. I've been through too much to give up.
Those body shots are starting to cut Eubank in half.
Yes, they were cutting me in half. But that was not enough.
And he knows what to aim for.
We're going to take another break at the end of this round.
Ben's eyes holding up as well.
Yes. It's not getting, the corner haven't been able to improve it, but at least it's not getting worse.
Oh, that's a good right hand.
Jab right
He's in
hand,
trouble
catching
now.
him on the shots. Why? Because he's waiting. Let me make a point about when you're hit low. When you're hit low, it stops you from moving. It makes you stand and fight, which is not what you're supposed to do. Not with a man like Ben. Any boxers who are listening to this, you know, wear 2 cups, like a small one and then the outer big one, the leather one. So round 7, right now I catch him with 2 shots. Look at that. Beautiful shots. Beautiful uppercut, beautiful straight right hand. Again, you know, he's in front of me, he keeps on coming forward, he's not moving side to side, and so therefore I'm able to actually land these shots, which are very, very powerful shots.
To capture the public imagination, as I said earlier.
So after the fight I talk about his ability to take a punch. He can't be chinny, I say. How can he be chinny? I hit him with so many shots. The great thing about Ben in this particular fight is that the last thing he wanted was to lose. He had committed so much to this particular fight in terms of what he had said beforehand. So he really dug a deep hole for himself, unfortunately for him.
He's much more effective. Ben, as you watch Ben when he's been pushed back, he hasn't an idea what to do. It's when he's coming forward that he's dangerous. When he's been pushed back, he is not effective. He nullifies Ben's power and strength when he comes at him. That's what he's got to do. Feint, come forward, use the jab, keep him back, take his time and rest.
See, what he's doing here, I've got him doing and mimicking me, which is to try and pick me off. Actually be clever. Wait for me to maybe throw a shot and then counter me. But that's my game. That's what I'm specialized in. So I've got him fighting my game. I'm not fighting his game, which is to stand toe-to-toe. So now he starts showing signs of not being sure by spitting out his gum shield.
That Eubank's elbow caught him in the mouth.
This is a war of
A foul each, if you like.
That's what
Eubank getting the jab to work.
Push Ben back.
See, now I'm waiting for him. I'm waiting for him. And the idea is to have him strike and pay him back.
Eubank's about the body and then switch to the head.
But now the fight is really in... It's going my way. Why? Because he has slowed down. He's respecting my space now. He's not walking into my space as cavalier and as nonchalant as he started. Now catching him right there with that 1-2, that right hand caught him flush. Now he's trying to actually say, you haven't got me, and I have got him. But the idea is to keep on him, but do not spend all your energy because you've tagged him. Don't think that you've got it sussed out. Reserve your energy. Pick him off slowly. He hits me low again there, and I thought the referee would have seen that, but he didn't. And even though he's hit me low, the referee's not paying attention. I've got to go with the fight. I can't be dealing with the pain of the shot that was low. What I've got to do is carry on with the fight, otherwise the referee will stop it if I complain.
He cannot see out of that left eye now. Good round for the challenger, despite the late flurry by the champ.
Absolutely brilliant. This is one of them fights that is good to watch and not so great to be involved in.
I'll tell you, we've had 7 rounds. You can't pick a winner. Let's take a look at this now. Look at this.
That right hand. Oh, I'll tell you what, that is a shot and a half. It went right down to his boots. And yet he shook his head in defiance and called Eubanks to him, which Eubanks can't afford to do because of those tremendous lethal body punches that Ben's throwing.
Fair credit to Nigel. People have been asking questions about his chin, but I think he's answered a few of them tonight because he certainly stayed there for a tremendous right hand for Chris Eubank.
And I must say that from my point of view, I'm always inside out, so I can't see my power. I can't see my effectiveness. I don't know my effectiveness because I'm me. However, obviously others can, and obviously now I can in retrospect. But at the time, it's like, really? I'm good? I can take a punch, I can actually hit hard too. You never actually know it when you have it. You always take what you have for granted.
I don't know how you've got it scored, Dave, if it's going to go to a decision, but it's got to be a very difficult one.
When they talk about this fight being close, I don't get that. I've won at least 6 of the 8 rounds.
Now, Eubank's adopted the right policy, challenging for a world title.
I've boxed.
He's gone out there to try and take it off an
You know, I've had the fight in control. I've been the showman. I've been effective in terms of my movement, in terms of my shots. And, you know, the commentators, you can hear them saying, you know, it's going to be a hard fight to call.
He has taken an awful lot.
Now, right here,
And
that was a left hook. Now, I'm on, again, the backward foot, moving backwards. He hit me with the shot. Hits my shoulder.
he's never been hurt.
And look at me complain. I complain and I complain. Slip, slip, slip. But what? The referee is not listening. And so therefore, keep your eye on the objective. Okay, fine. Now I've lost
Was complaining about
1 point. That point is a really big deal. And I didn't deserve to lose it because the shot did hit my shoulder.
This is a war in every sense.
But he hit me with a shot
comes Eubank.
there, and I hit him with shots. He's walking onto them because he thinks he did tag me. He's thinking that he has tagged me, but he hasn't tagged me. So I'm still fresh, and I'm not groggy, and I'm clear.
Coming back with good shots of his own as well.
He's walking onto big shots, big uppercuts. He was at that point after that knockdown.
This fight certainly lived up to all the hype and ballyhoo.
And more. And more.
Absolutely.
Crowd getting behind Ben.
The crowd were always behind Ben, but that was fuel for me because I had never known it any other way. People were always against me. I still don't know why.
Composed.
Is he ever?
I was being in my career what I was supposed to be, a fighter, not a personality, not a comedian, but a person who stood strong for what he believed. I get caught here again. Actually, you know, it's a good point to make that he hit me with a shot on my forehead, but I felt the pain in the back of my neck, which is why I complained to the referee that he hit me in the back of the neck, which obviously he didn't. Funny, but true.
In Ben's corner, they're absolutely screaming frantically at him to come forward and throw shots. They seem to feel that Eubank is in a lot of distress. But Chris is the master of kidology.
Yeah, so his corner is telling him, go for my body. Well, that was always going to be the sensible thing, but no one knew that. No one thought I could hold a shot as well as I can. And so now they're telling him, go to the body, because that's where he's weak. Everybody's weak to the body. Now this stare out here, him staring out and then mimicking me, I couldn't see it then at the time, but that means I'm winning. I've beat him.
I don't know why Eubank doesn't go straight back to his corner. It seems a daft thing to me. Take another
This
look
is this right hand on the back of the head.
You can see here with that shot, it was the top of my shoulder, and I lost my footing.
Right hand over the top, and of course he complained all the way through the count to the referee.
But what great showmanship, you know, and real showmanship in that I complain, slip, 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 no, slip.
How would you score at the moment, Barry?
And then the objectivity, the fact that he says, you want to fight? I say, yep, okay, I'll go, let's go. As in, you're not listening to me, I'm not going to keep on complaining. Children complain. Men accept what they are involved with or what has happened, and they move on. So now we are into the 9th round.
And let's not forget we have 3 American judges.
So we are both spent now.
On aggression.
And I can't see the difference while I'm there in real time in the fight. I can't see the difference, but I know I keep on tagging him, and I have a feeling. This is difficult, but it's possible.
And he's hurt him a couple of times.
Not that it's possible, but it's too difficult.
Eubank has got to keep his composure.
That it is difficult, but it's possible. I can do this.
He can't see that right hand traveling over the top. If he disguises it with a left jab, he can cross the right hand very quickly and can end the fight, because both fighters are very, very tired.
Again, he's walking onto the shots.
I'm wondering now whether this might possibly go
You know,
full
everybody again underestimates how powerful the jab is. It keeps your man off balance as well as hurting him at the same time.
Every time he hurts Ben stands on the ropes and calls him forward. He's got to stay away because he punches better from a distance, and he's much more damaging puncher from a distance, whereas Ben hits most devastatingly in close. He's a hooker and an uppercutter, and
so at this stage, 9th round, where my mind is one of, well, where it's been the entire fight. Survival. It's survival, but at the same time, what I've done, I've applied the craft. and I've applied the integrity, the natural integrity that I am and that I was. I had lived this. I had prepared for this, and this was the execution. I hadn't trained for 7 years and given up everything for 7 years to just go in there and get hit with a shot and get concussed and lose. No, that wasn't going to happen.
Eubank complaining to referee Richard Steele, Steele having none of it.
This is the sort of a fight that makes you an old
And indeed,
man.
it does make you an old man. It does take years off of your life. But at the same time, in winning, it adds years to your life. So it's give and take.
So are we saying that Eubanks is fresher at this stage? I don't know, I'll tell you.
I may not have been fresher at this stage, but I was committed, is the key point. Now he walks onto the jabs. He's walking onto the jabs. I'm jabbing. When you're jabbing, you're setting someone up for the right hand, and there it goes, over the top, straight shot. It tags him, he buckles, and I know there is something magnificent about to happen. Could it happen? Well, it can't happen. Why? Because I'm just me. And nothing really ever happens for me. Everything has just been so hard all my life. But the time is now, and it feels as though, and oh my goodness, he has stopped it, and I screamed at that point. And that scream was 7 years of solitude, pain, blood, sweat, no girlfriends, no friends, no clubs, just pure solitude, pure work. And I've come through and I've done something that has to have won me the respect of my brothers. And so too the boxing community, and so too every person who has watched it. Any man, any woman, any person can do anything they want so long as they mean it. What I proved is that I meant it. Not by winning this fight, but by giving up 7 years of my life, climbing a particular ladder. And that's what one has to do in life. If you want to achieve something, just mean it. If you mean it, you'll get there, because you close everything else out of your entity. You don't hear anything else, you don't see anything else. All you do is see your objective, and that's how you get it. And how do I know? I did it.
25 fights, 25 wins, and the new WBO champion of the world.
Chris, congratulations, that was a brilliant victory. Unexpected by a lot of people, but you said all along you would win. I've never known you lost for words, and I know you're very emotional, but we'd love to know all about that back at home.
He's the hardest puncher I've ever seen. He's the hardest puncher I've ever come up against in my life. I don't know. I beat him on determination. Karen, I told you I'd do it. Well, I don't suppose I did, but I knew I'd do it. He was good, but yeah, I stuck with it, and he hurt me bad, man. But he's good. But I told you my chin is cast iron. I told you they couldn't touch it. If anyone can touch somebody's chin, it's Nigel Benn.
Can I just say this? You are crying now. Now, all we've seen is an arrogant Chris Eubank. This is an emotional Chris Eubank.
He extended me like I've never known one could be extended. He's definitely, the man is just an animal. I mean, his strength is he's not an animal. He come over to me, he shake hands, and he's an unbelievable puncher. And I said I wouldn't embrace him or anything, but you see, he's won my respect. You see, because he hurt me up the guts. He opened my tongue. My tongue's open. My tongue's open. He hit me with shots I never knew existed.
But you keep saying that, but the thing about this fight is you have hit him with so many shots that have had him rocking.
Listen, this man ain't chinny. Chinny? This man can't be chinny. I hit him with everything, man. Karen, I done it. Dad, I love you, Dad. I done it.
Thank you very much indeed. The new WBO middleweight champion of the world. Sounds good, doesn't it?
Dad, I done it. Peter Eubank, I done it.
Well, Nigel, your dreams have gone out the window, though.
No, my dreams haven't gone out the window. It's just that I thought Chris Eubank is tougher than what I expected. He caught me in about the fourth round. In my eye, I couldn't see a thing, but not taking nothing away from Eubank. What a tremendous fighter he is. He deserves it, man. He deserves it. Well, you know, I don't know. Now I go home, sit down, decide what I'm doing. But I don't know no more. Honestly, I don't know. The man beat me good, very instant way.
What you've just witnessed there is said to be one of the greatest fights ever to take place in a British boxing ring. Nigel and I were fierce rivals then. We still are. As you can see, when there is so much commitment from two men, it's that type of explosive contest that you are likely to see. So I really hope you enjoyed it. There are more in my archives, and there will be more coming to you in the not too distant future.